Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, the Print Lab Chronicles, a place where we learn about 3D printing together. I'm just starting out, and I'll be sharing my honest journey, the wins, the fails, and all the lessons in between. If you have ever been curious about 3D printing, or if you are a seasoned maker with tips to share, I would love for you to join me. All right. In our last episode, we peeled back the first layer of 3D printing, understanding what this amazing additive manufacturing is all about. If you missed it, I'll put a link on the top right. It's time to get a little more specific because just like there are different types of cars, there are different types of 3D printers. And for most of us just starting out, one type stands head and shoulders above the rest: FDM. So, what exactly is FDM? FDM stands for Fused Deposition Modeling. You might also hear it called FFF or Fused Filament Fabrication. Don't let the fancy name scare you. This is the most common, most affordable, and arguably the most beginner friendly type of 3D printer out there. If you have ever seen a 3D printer in action, chances are it was an FDM printer. So, how does the magic happen? Imagine you have a giant spool of plastic string, that's our filament. This filament, usually a thermoplastic, gets fed into a part of printer called the extruder. Think of extruder as the engine that pushes the plastic. Inside the extruder, there is a hot end, basically a tiny oven that heats the plastic filament until it melts and becomes soft, like hot glue. This melted plastic is then pushed out through a tiny nozzle, almost like squeezing toothpaste from a tube. The printer then moves this hot nozzle around on a build plate. That's the surface your print sits on, laying down a super thin line of melted plastic. It does this over and over, tracing the shape of the first layer of your object. As soon as the plastic comes out, a small fan often cools it down, making it solidify quickly and stick to the layer below. Once that first layer is done, the build plate, or sometimes the print head itself, moves up just a tiny bit. We are talking fractions of millimeter, and the printer starts laying down the next layer directly on the top of first. It repeats this process layer by tiny layer, building your object from bottom up until your digital design becomes a real, tangible thing. Now, why is FDM so popular, especially for beginners like us? Let's look at the pros. Cost effective. FDM printers are generally the most affordable way to get into 3D printing. You can find great entry level machines for a few $100s. And the filament itself is also relatively inexpensive. This means a lower barrier to entry for your wallet. Wide material choice. FDM printers can work with a huge variety of plastic filaments. We are talking common ones like PLA, PETG, and ABS, but also flexible materials like TPU, and even more advanced ones like nylon. This versatility lets you experiment with different properties for your prints. Ease of use. Modern FDM printers are incredibly user friendly. Many come pre assembled with intuitive interfaces and features like auto bed leveling, making setup and your first print surprisingly straightforward. Less tinkering, more printing. Versatility. FDM is great for a wide range of projects. from quick prototypes to functional parts and even larger models. Large build volume. Many FDM printers offer generous build areas, meaning you can print bigger objects in one go or many smaller objects at once. Huge community and resources. Because FDM is so popular, there is a massive online community. Tons of tutorials like this channel and endless resources to help you troubleshoot and learn. But like anything, FDM isn't perfect. Here are a few cons to be aware of. Visible layer lines. Because FDM builds layer by layer, you'll often see faint lines on the surface of your prints. It's usually an aesthetic thing, but it means the surface isn't perfectly smooth right off the printer. Resolution limits. While FDM can produce good detail, it's not ideal for ultra-fine, intricate models like tiny jewelry or highly detailed miniatures. Support structures. If your design has parts that hang in the air, like an arm sticking out from a body, FDM printers needs to print temporary support structures underneath them. These need to be removed after printing and can sometimes leave small marks. Warping or adhesion issues. With some materials, especially ABS, prints can sometimes lift or curl off the build plate if not cooled properly, which is called warping. Getting your first layer to stick perfectly can also be a learning curve. Speed. While some FDM printers are getting incredibly fast for very small, highly detailed objects, other technologies can sometimes be quicker. So, what kind of projects is FDM best suited for? If you're looking to make functional parts, quick prototypes, custom tools, larger models, or just fun hobby projects where durability and size are important, FDM is your go to. It's fantastic for creating practical items around the house, custom enclosures for electronics, or even large cosplay props that you can assemble later. It's truly a workhorse of desktop 3D printing. FDM is an incredible starting point for anyone diving into 3D printing, offering a fantastic balance of affordability, versatility, and ease of use. It's definitely the technology I'll be focusing on for my first printer. But FDM isn't the only type of 3D printer out there. In our next video, we are going to explore another fascinating technology, resin 3D printing, also known as SLA or DLP. If you are curious about super smooth surfaces and incredibly fine details, you won't want to miss it. If any of this sparked your curiosity, I would love for you to subscribe and follow along. I'll be sharing my first printer setup, slicing tutorials, and plenty of fails. Because let's be real, they are inevitable. But more importantly, I need your help. What do you want to see next? Got tips for a newbie? Comment below. I'm here to learn from you too. This is just the beginning, and I'm excited to grow this channel with you. Thanks for watching the Print Lab Chronicles. See you in the next one.